Hey y'all, new day, new verses. We continue on into James. Today we are doing verses 11 and 12, a warning about judging others. And I know I look the same way I did Thursday. I was just so into this word that I just wanted to record it now while I was thinking about it and share it today. So I know it's a Tuesday verse, but let's dig in it today and have some fun. Here we go. Verse 11. Don't speak evil against each other, dear brothers and sisters. If you criticize and judge each other, then you are criticizing and judging God's law. But your job is to obey the law, not judge whether it applies to you. God alone, who gave the law, is the judge. He alone has the power to save or destroy. So what right do you have to judge your neighbor? I love this verse because the first thing it reminds me of, judge your neighbor as you judge yourself. And of course, the reminder of the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy name. King James. Holy is your name. Your kingdom come, Abba. Your will be done, Yahweh, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, the provision we need. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive others who trespass against us. Forgive us as we forgive. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. That little bit there. Forgive us as we forgive. And Jesus says right after in the prayer in Matthew, for your heavenly Father will not forgive you if you do not forgive others. And as examples about dealing with anger, if you're about to give an offering and you realize you have an issue with a brother or sister, stop the offering, go remedy what is wrong, and then come back and get the offering. Because it's about relationship. This judging other people. Jesus talked about this too, calling somebody a fool. Treating somebody others as they're down, rejecting them, treating them as useless. And this isn't saying calling out bad behavior. This is saying speaking evil against each other. Because remember, life and death, the power of it is in the tongue. And when we speak evil against each other, that's the difference. Because correction, and this is kind of the difference between constructive criticism and just criticism. Constructive criticism toward a subject helps you improve your task. I made these earrings. Constructive criticism, how do I get better at making these? How do I get better at making the knots? Things like that. Just straight criticism, oh, well, those are ugly. Oh, you're fat. Oh, you're dumb. Wow. That seems really ineffectual. Seems downright cold. Cruelly speaking against these things, we have this expression, sticks and stones might break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Then why is cyberbullying a thing? If sticks and stones will never cause problems, then why do we have so many people who have been emotionally abused and verbally abused, and because of it are hidden away, or have turned to self-medication through drugs and alcohol so that they don't have to think about the constant whispers in their ears from family members or the words spoken of them by people who were supposed to care about them of death, hell, and the grave? Would you really need to do that? Are you sure you want to? Oh, well, you're just going to fuck it up anyway. It's kind of the way our world works all too often. And it's heartbreaking, and it's heartrending. And it's something that we don't really think about or stop to take a moment and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. Hey, maybe we shouldn't be judging others in this regard. Maybe we shouldn't speak others so blatantly. Maybe we should be walking out the law. And the law says quite blatantly in Micah 6:8. God, in a very annoyed state with Israel at the time, I have told you, O human, what is good. To live justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. We were talking yesterday, Thursday, earlier today, or just a few moments ago for me, about that kind of humble place. To walk humbly with your God, to place it before Him, to remember He's God, we're not, which means about trusting His way of doing it. To live mercy, or to love mercy. To understand that sometimes life is difficult. Sometimes people are stuck in a Job moment. And rather than being shoulda, coulda, and woulda, we be Elihu and say, God's still good even if the situation sucks, guys. Maybe don't call God out because He's God. Also, sometimes bad things happen to good people. We have this place of live justice. When justice and righteousness are combined with each other, tzedakah and the other one will come to me. It's about right relationships. It's about setting things right so that a hungry person eats, a naked person is clothed, a hurting person is healed, a broken person is made whole. This is the kind of righteousness we're talking about, right relationship, where people are able to be seen as people, rather than what we all so often do and beat each other down. And so I know this video is considerably shorter than what we were going into Thursday, and it's a little bit shorter verses, admittedly. But really, we just want to talk about the fact that He alone has the power to save or destroy. We don't. Not others, not ourselves. We can't do that. We can't pull ourselves up our own bootstraps. As Hannah saved, you cannot be saved by strength alone. You have to be saved by grace. God is the only one who does that. God is the only one who has the power to save or destroy. So when we sit here going, well, I'm saved, you're not. Well, I know the God I serve. Cool. Is it this one? Because I know a lot of places out there where we will claim to be following the God of Jacob and, claim to be following the God that's in here. And yet we will still do the catty things that the world does. We will still do the childish things. Talking about each other behind their back. Name-calling, belittling, speaking evil against each other, speaking death. Well, they're not saved because they don't go to my book club. Oh, I didn't know you were God. Good to know. Because that's what we tend to do, and we tend to be flippant about it in the body. Well, they're not part of my clique, so I'm just not going to care. Then it's not a hospital. It's a sorority or a fraternity. Pass. Hard pass. Because it's supposed to look like a hospital. It's supposed to look like places where the hurting can come and be made whole by the only one who can save. So we welcome in those places. We welcome in the heartache. We welcome in the suffering. We welcome in the lost, because God leaves the 99 and go gets the one. So what if we stop speaking evil to each other and speaking evil over each other and said, hey, come see the one who was real. Come see the one who saves. Come see the one who makes whole. Come see the one who frees us from death, hell, and the grave. Because if our lives are not looking different, if we're not loving, what's the point? We're supposed to be a city on a hill because our lives look different. We're not supposed to judge others with that kind of wrathful hatred. We're not supposed to be staggering with prejudice like he was talking in chapter 2. He was talking about living out and doing what we believe. God has forgiven my sins. I will forgive others and try and see them. Because I don't have to know what you've done. I know what I've done. And I know He forgives me, and I know He loves me, and I know He died for me and died in my place, just as He died for you and died in your place, so you may be set free and be healed. I don't have to know what you've done. He knows. He knows what you did. He knows what you're doing. He knows what you're going to do. He still loves anyway. He knows our entire spectrum, past, present, and future, and was thinking of us when He died, so that we may be raised to life. Because He wants us to live. The question is, do we? Because James taught quite bluntly earlier in chapter 3 about controlling the tongue, that we'll speak praises out one side and curses out the other. How can we say praise God for the beauty He makes when cursing the image that bears His? Everybody else. Because we're image bearers. We don't get to make idols because God already made an image bearer. Us. So when we speak hatred and we speak disgusting behavior and we treat each other poorly, it's horrible. You know, I'm a little bit even tempted to do Thursday's recording right now about a warning about self-confidence. Because all of this comes together to realize we're not top dog. And the moment we realize that the fault might be ours, you know, hey, this entire thing happened. Maybe I'm responsible. Hey, this horrible thing happened. Maybe I didn't get it right. Maybe I'm not the perfect one. Maybe I can humble myself enough to say, Lord, teach me. Be it be your wisdom that learns me or using other people around me to learn me. Help me grow. Because we're supposed to put away the childish things, and to me a childish thing is not a teddy bear. Everybody needs to hug something and be hugged. It's not cute and adorable. It's not soft and fluffy. It's not silly and cute. It's not a collection of action figures or a collection of comic books or a pile of stuffed animals. No, the childish thing is well, I'm just going to steal. I'm just going to kill. I'm just going to destroy. I'm just going to act like the world. Because, hey, I need to if I'm going to get anywhere. There's only one way you're going to get doing it that way. That will get you straight to hell. Because it's not a punishment. It's a choice. And all too often we make the choice. We choose to speak evil and surround ourselves with it. We choose to speak death and flood our lives with it. Rather than choose blessing. Rather than choose life. Rather than trust humble joy. Rather than trust that He is God, we try and make ourselves into one. And so we fail. And yeah, that blends right into the self-confidence too, which I think I won't do today so that it can be a separate individual thought next time I pick up to record. But it will be on Thursday. Because this is something we need to talk about, especially in the church. We need to stop speaking death and hell and suffering over people who are lost and need to start speaking life. Because we all wholeheartedly sing Amazing Grace in the body, but we forget it. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. And if we see, then why are we not looking? If we were dead and now we are alive, why do we still act like the grave? Why do we still invite people into the depths of Sheol? It's a choice. Will we speak life or death? Will we speak good or evil? Will we speak blessing or curse? All the way back to Torah. I lay before you this day blessing and curse. You can either follow the Lord and your life be filled with blessing. Perhaps not blessing the world calls blessing, but real blessing, to be sure. Or you can choose evil and get lost in the same bloody, run around, stabby, destroy that is going on in the world right now. That's the choice. Which will you pick? I've chosen my God who sets me free. Because I want real freedom. I want real life. And that is why I do this. I'm not saying follow me. I'm saying pick up a Bible and chase after Him. Because all of the stuff that I'm speaking is right in here. You just gotta go read it. You gotta let Him read you. And not out of context like bumper stickers, but understanding fully from the front to the back. It is one unified story about Jesus coming. A love letter from God the Father through His chosen people to all of us. To say the darkness will not win, light will always win. Suffering only lasts for a night. Joy comes with the morning. And even if it is a long-ass night, God sees us through. We keep the oil burning constantly because He has been good then. He will be good now. And He will be good then. Or He is good now. He's always working. The question is, will we trust? Think on it. Because He loves us more than we can fathom. And we will never be more loved than we are right now. Which means, even when we are lost sinners, we are infinitely loved as children. And when we are doing our best, doing amazingly, and changing the whole world, the acts are the fruit, not the root, of that blessing, that relationship, that connection, and that love. I will see you guys Thursday when we pick up again. May His favor be upon you. Know that you are loved and don't give up hope, because He'll always see you through. I'll see you then.